At 4:59 a.m., the most secure room in Europe became a graveyard for history. Two men were watching. They were trained, they were armed, and they were just a few hundred feet away. They watched as $1 billion was stuffed into a laundry bag. They watched as the 18th century was smashed into pieces with a hardware store axe. They didn't move. Not because they were cowards, but because the rules told them to stay in their chairs. This is the story of the Green Vault Heist. It wasn't a failure of technology. It was a failure of the human mind. To understand how $1 billion vanishes in 5 minutes, you have to understand what was inside the vault. In the year 1723, a king named Augustus the Strong had a problem. He had too much power and no way to show it. He didn't want a bank, he wanted a fortress of ego. He built the Green Vault. It wasn't just for him, it was for his guests. He would walk world leaders through these rooms. He was telling them, "I am so rich, I can leave $1 billion in gold sitting on a table." For 300 years, this room was the heart of Saxony. It survived the firebombing of World War II. It survived the Soviet Union. It was the one place on Earth that felt untouchable. By 2019, the museum had spent millions on security. Sensors, cameras, armed guards. It was a 300-year-old vault protected by 21st century glass. The men who broke the vault didn't use computers. They used patience. They were members of the Remo clan, a family from Berlin known for high-stakes hits. Days before the heist, they visited as tourists. They found a window in a blind spot. They used a hydraulic saw to cut the iron bars. But they didn't pull them out. They glued the bars back into place. For 3 days, security guards walked past that window. They looked at the bars, but they didn't touch them. The fortress was already open. 4:58 a.m. The bridge. A small fire in an electrical box killed the power to the street lights. The museum was now a black box. No lights, no motion sensors. Just 2 men and a window. While the axes were swinging, the museum wasn't empty. 2 security guards were sitting in a high-tech control room just a few hundred feet away. They watched it. On high-definition monitors, they saw every swing of the axe. They saw the glass shatter. They saw the $1 billion diamonds being shoved into a sack. They had a choice. They could have rushed the room. They could have locked the doors. But they stayed in their chairs. Why? Because of Protocol 4.2. The museum's own insurance policy was the thieves' best friend. The guards were strictly ordered never to intervene. They were trained to be professional witnesses. It is a haunting image. 2 men destroying history in the light, and 2 men paid to protect it, sitting in the dark, watching them do it. They didn't even yell. They just picked up a phone and waited for the police. After the smash and grab, the thieves did something brilliant. They didn't just run. They cleaned. They sprayed the entire room with fire extinguisher powder. This is a nightmare for investigators. The powder is fine, corrosive, and covers everything. Usually, police look for a single hair, a drop of sweat, a partial print. But the Remo clan turned the crime scene into a forensic desert. They drove a stolen Audi to a nearby garage and set it on fire. They didn't just burn the car, they baked it. They knew that if the temperature got high enough, even the DNA on the steering wheel would vanish. Here is the problem with stealing $1 billion. You can't spend it. A diamond like the Dresden White is famous. Every jeweler in the world knows its shape. To make money, you have to destroy the art. You take a 49-carat masterpiece and you cut it into 10 small stones. You destroy 90% of the value just to make it anonymous. Today, the thieves are in prison. Most of the gold is back in the vault. But the great diamonds? They are gone. Likely sitting in a safe in Dubai or Russia, recut into something unrecognizable. The green vault is secure again. But the world learned a lesson that night. No matter how much you spend on the walls, the ghost in the machine is always human error.